Every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody
Anthony
out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Christina. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Christina. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday. Everything is going down. Every Thursday. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony Show. It's during the week, homie.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Hey, welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. Once again, this is Roy Anthony. Man, it is what? June the 14th, 2022. And I'm grateful to God that we have a nice show this afternoon, a nice conversation panel. We have return of Miss Brenda Brown, and then we have two of her good friends, Joy Towner. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. And then she has another friend be coming in, Angela Woods. Now, I'm Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. I have my co-stars that be coming in first with my man Big Hank and then Christina Carter. She's in the background now. The Woe Entertainment, which was created by my man Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with his co-creator Goose. And then we have our social producer Blue Phoenix, such a warrior, along with our man Athens. And then we have our sponsors Matthew Brooks, along with our good neighbors BB Nation and the VRS. Yes, this is a platform that was created and Roy Anthony came on. This is our second week of our fourth season. And our platform is based on, it's not a confrontation, it's a conversation. We have prided ourselves on tackling different subjects that some people is fearful of discussing. We've dealt with a lot of our veterans that has committed suicide along with teenager race. Teenager race is crazy too. 22 teenagers per month. We have dealt with it in our own platform where we've had one of our own commit suicide, and sometimes which leads from depression. Sometimes people need to hear themselves talking with another individual without some people trying to be Mrs. Mr. or Miss holier than holy, and they can solve problems. Sometimes we need to work with by listening and giving a proper antidote. We always want to sympathize, but we lack on how to empathize. And so today's platform, we just go into conversations, discussions. I want to delve upon the conversations that our hosts wanted to, our guests want to speak on and stuff. And we got a panel of very beautiful queens that's going to be coming on. You know, we reference our ladies, especially me and Big Hank, we and our partners, we true Black men, and our neighbors is men as well. You know, it's not just Blacks, it's whites, Latinos and stuff, and we're about humanity. While I'm waiting, I just seen Miss Christina going out. I just want to give our introduction before I start bringing in these powerful queens that are visionaries. You know, when I was a kid, my mother and my grandmother was the basic disciplinarians for me. My dad was in Pelican Bay basically all my life, and then a month before his release, and I had us a nice house to stay in Los Angeles. He died before he left the prison doors, you know, and so sometimes we go through things. And before I start bringing our guests in, I hinted upon about suicide. We're creating a number where people can call and actually going to speak to people. Sometimes I'm gonna be on there for 8 hours. I'm gonna take people's calls and we're gonna talk. And sometimes it's easier to talk to people if you can relate. Because there was a time I was in 2005. Oh man, I felt like I had a buzzer's feather stuck in my ass because it seemed like everything I touched and everything I did just went south. And I was starting to get depressed. And it was getting to the point that I was depressing so much that every day for like 3 weeks, I would get off this train and I would be thinking about, I had to walk past this bridge and I would be thinking about that life was better on the opposite side. And you know, I was tired of walking, tired of people driving past me. I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to be this comic coming up, you know, and it seemed like everything was just south that part of the period. And it was a drum beating in my head, just in your life, jump over this bridge. And every day for 3 weeks, I walk past this bridge. And one time the drum was beating so hard, like, man, it was everything was just bad, totally terrible. And it was no one I can confide to or anything. And next thing you know, I started telling myself, it was nothing but the Spirit of God telling me, I'm gonna keep you up. I started hyping myself up to where people, when my life started going better, I became a headline on Queen Mary, and people would be laughing because they would think that I'm talking in a third person. It's just that I got so used to had to speak out and say, Roy, you can do it. Roy, you can do it. Roy, you can do it. It got to the point that I started hyping myself up when there's no one else there but the God of Spirit. And so I'm gonna bring my co-hosts in there in house. I'm gonna bring them in first. What's up, Miss Christina Carter? What's up with you? What's up with you, Big Hank? What's up,
Hey,
bro?
what's up? What's happening with you, man?
You got it, man. How you doing, bro? You
Doing
doing,
good,
sis?
man. Doing
Yeah.
good. What's up, Christina?
I'm surprised she driving with her leg was
Hey
supposed to be
y'all.
all messed up. What you doing driving with your
Yeah.
leg messed up?
I ain't got no choice. My baby gotta go to the doctor today.
Oh, okay, for
You
sure.
know,
That's
when you a single mom, you don't get no off days.
that's
Not
what's
even
up.
with a broken leg, huh?
No shit.
Yeah.
They put the leg out the window and then be like, keep it rolling. It's not your driver leg, is it?
It's not.
Oh, well, that's all right. Then you can put that other leg over on the passengers.
Period.
When your
Yep.
leg get healthy, you're gonna be walking bow-legged.
Yeah, I'm gonna be alright though.
Hey, I want to bring in our special guest that they're in the background. Remember, we had Miss Brenda Brown. We want her to come back, and then, to my understanding, Miss Towner is the lady that Miss Brown was talking about. I guess she survived from a stroke and
Okay.
and she's back strong, and I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And because I don't like to just, I like to hear from the person itself. I
Yes,
like
sir.
to hear miracles, you know, talk to the straight miracle people. So we're gonna bring them on in. I'm gonna bring in Miss Brenda Brown. She's gonna start seem like she's gonna be a regular. How you doing, Miss Brown? You gotta unmute your mic. You Yes, ma'am.
I'm over here doing the puppeteer. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh no, you all right.
Good morning, y'all. That's how it sounded before I muted it. Okay, so good to see you, Christina. I just
Hey
wanted
love,
to.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say to your intro, kudos to you. I remember I broke my foot and I still had to go and look for a job. It wasn't, I didn't have a choice. Like my son needed, roof and floor and whatnot. So
Oh yeah, we ain't
kudos to
doing.
you, Miss Ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
And
Yes,
how you
ma'am.
doing, Miss Brown? Before we bring in Miss Towner.
I am doing amazing. My birthday is coming up. We are on the 11th day countdown to my birthday here in Las Vegas, Nevada, June 24th. We are going to, I'm just so excited. Every morning that I wake up is a benefit because I get to work on this show. Shout out to DJ Farrell and shout out to Naturel.com because these two brothers are going to come together and make a party that Vegas. If you missed it, too bad for you. Next year, you
Hey, you
should
know, I
come.
be thinking like when way you describe your party, I be thinking like when I seen the the Motown movie about the Temptations, and you remember when they was all in the party, and all of a sudden, the lead singer, David Ruffin, he said, I want to shout, and everybody started like that, and then motherfucker started shouting.
Yes.
That's the type of party.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I'm looking forward to that.
Like in the Wiz, when they
minute. I
that's
want to
it.
say, I'm gonna be at Mrs. Brown's birthday party, and
Yeah.
guess what? We're gonna shout, take your hands. Hey, let me bring on Miss Counters.
Hey, I want to say hi to Miss Brenda Brown too. How you doing, Miss Brenda Brown?
Oh, good morning, Hank. I'm doing good. I am ready to rise and shine with the Roy Anthony show. I was so excited to get to see you and Christina. I mean, Roy, you know I love you already. That's beyond all measure. But I was really excited to see Hank and Christina. But I love you though. I love you. But these two right here, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear about it.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to you, Roy Anthony. Thank you for having me back. I just enjoy you and the people that you host.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Now, wait a minute. Before we keep on with the kudos, I want to bring in Miss Towner. I stopped because Big Hank wanted to shout out to you, Miss Brown. Let's give Miss Towner. How you doing, Miss Towner? Miss Joy Towner?
Woo, on my booze. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
The Sugarfoot sweet faces on the screen. How y'all feeling?
It feels good to see some ladies off in this piece, man.
Hey, look, we was having trouble with our Wi-Fi. You came in, your aura just got all bars now.
Yeah.
Your energy.
Got to even it out.
Yeah.
What's up, Miss Towner?
How you doing, Mr. Hank? How are you, Miss Christina?
I want to introduce
Mr.
everybody.
Roy, how you, baby?
Big Hank. I know you know Brenda, but we want to know about you before we continue on with the conversation. Tell us about who you are, where you at, and what you're working on, and what you're doing.
Oh Lord, where you want me to start, sugar? Wait a minute.
What's your name?
Well, okay, so my name is all over the place because that's how much I'm all over the place. So my name is actually Cynthia Joy Towner, but I go by Joy Towner because my mom is Cynthia. So I go by my middle name because it fits my aura and all of my energy. So everybody just calls me Joy.
Yeah.
But on top of regular Joy, you have Juicy Joy, who's the comedian, and she just has comedy about everything under the sun, no filtration system. Like, it's just rawness and energy. That's Juicy Joy. And then the S in you that you see is my brand, and that means strength in you. And that is my Stroke Survivor brand. We represent fight lives in the heart of a survivor. So I make motivational videos and encourage stroke survivors to never give in to giving up, because I do everything with one hand. So I teach them how to never give in to giving up and be positive through the storm. So I am working on a book. I am working on my comedy. I am working on raising my kings to be their best self. I am just trying to be my best self no matter what curveballs that life throws at me. So that's just a little bit.
Hey, I applaud you. You know what?
Wow.
We always tell me, Big Hank, Christina, our conversation with boys, the stuff we've been through.
Yes, sir.
And to be able to survive. Now, no one knows, you ever dealt with this? I know you've dealt with this before, Joy, where someone's trying to say, well, I've gone through this or whatever, and make it seem like no one knows someone else's stress level.
Right.
No one knows, you know what I'm saying? Because most people gave up. I've seen people have a stroke and they still in a wheelchair, like, ain't trying to accomplish more, because you got to have that mindset. Am I correct?
Start right there. And you are absolutely right. I've dealt with so many people who are quick to want to, I guess, compare stories. But like you said, you don't know people's stress level, and everybody deals with trauma differently. So what you might just jump to get through, somebody else may have a hard time just opening a door, because like you said, it's a mind state and you got to want it. And it takes a lot. It takes a huge heart to want to fight for yourself more than anybody else can.
Yes. I have a friend who's part of the genetics. He's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And he said the first 5 or 10 years he's listened to his doctors. And his doctors was giving him so much medicine that he said he felt like he was so compelled to stay in the chair. And he knew something had to change when he went to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and 2 teeth came out. So he flipped to where he said he was just going to go herbals, cannabis.
Yeah.
Which he's one of the leading cannabis growers out in California today. But he said he got off them people's medicine, started saying his mind, he just sent me a picture with him standing up. He was standing in place, but he's trying to stand. He's feeling the strength, and his mind is telling him, you can do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. The pharmaceutical companies was keeping him because he said he would have to take medicine to dilute the medicine that they was giving him out of his system, and he didn't have the proper bowels to get the system out or something. He was explaining, and I was like, I always thought that when people gave you medicine that it automatically excluded out your body when you eat something. But I found this out that sometimes they had to give you what they call a derivative or something. I'm not saying it correctly. Big Hank is the pronunciation corrector. So if I say something wrong, Joy, don't think that we're ignorant panel. We have a USC. I have gotten so better. When we first met, it was always like, what?
Oh my God. I'm just saying, Roy, do not leave me out of the game. So it's Roy Anthony, Christina Carter, Hank,
and Brenda
Norman, and Brenda Brown, right?
Well, you know what? I would come back as
I
a guest.
have.
I'm sorry. I just was hyping up on Miss Joy. She was new.
Yeah.
At you
Right. Like I want to love on her too. That's why I invited her. Right.
Oh,
like
yeah.
don't let my love go unnoticed, honey.
Oh no.
Because this one right here, she's a real one.
Okay, let me say this again. I'm gonna say it to you, Miss Joy, because I said this to Miss Brown last Monday. Like when you first come to my house, I'm gonna give you a drink. The second time you come, I'm gonna show you where the cabinet is. So Miss Brown is at the level where she knows where the cabinet is. I gotta bring Miss Joy the drink, but next when she comes back again, Miss Brown, please believe me, because you can jump in anytime you want. You got that green light.
My goodness, I'm just jumping in to say when you were speaking all those amazing words, you speak for me too. So just add me on in. When you say, I know people be like, add my name on to the roster.
Well, Miss Brown, somebody wrote in, it's a GD Fenderson said Big Pharma cannot heal us.
That's their medication.
That's absolute facts. They so quick to throw you medicine. And as a stroke survivor, I'm gonna tell y'all, my muscles are always in pain. I go through a pain daily, and they quick to want to throw medication at me, but I don't take it because number one, feeling means I'm alive. So I take my pain for what it is because I didn't have pain before. I didn't have feeling on my left side. So I take my pain as pleasure, you know what I'm saying? And they are just quick to want to throw us medications, not realizing it's messing with your mental. It keeps you weak. It keeps you down. It keeps you dependent upon what they're giving you, and that's not going to help you.
Well, get ready, Joy, because we just bought us up a whole nother chunk of medicine with the whole gun reform bill with the mental health. They gave like all this money for mental health, but that just basically means they're going to buy more drugs to put you on to, control it. See, instead of just doing the right thing.
Now, I'm glad you said that, Miss Brown, because like when I was a kid growing up, I'm hyper even now. I'm hyper. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, when kids is hyper, they want to give them drugs like Ritalin or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Ritalin.
I beg your pardon? Yeah, I told you. See what I'm saying? Because I
think it's called Ritalin. I'm not sure, man.
It is. It's Ritalin.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they want to give them medicine, Big Hank.
Yeah.
Keep them from being hyper.
Yes, sir.
It's the person who's watching the kids. I used to say, I used to see older people say, tell them kids to sit down. No, because you miss Krabby Patties. You can't get up and go kick it. Now we want someone who can do it to go sit down. You know, I tell people, if just you got to a certain age, don't make you wise.
You better say that. You better say that.
You may have just escaped through.
And that pharmaceutical money, man, that's that big money up there, man. And they're not cutting that down. That's the top families up there. That's who got that pharmaceutical money. And so that's the problem, man. And first of all, I want to shout out to Miss Towner, man. First, give her a shout out for being a stroke survivor. My mom is also a stroke survivor. But I want to say to you, Joy, I don't know what you got. Give me some of that, what you got, because you're doing more than everybody doing with one arm. You're doing it with I got two arms. They ain't doing this.
Because I told you, I'm raising kings, and my babies saw me fall. They was 3 and 5. And my goal after they see me fall was they're going to watch me rise. And I'm going to prove to them that I am not what happened to me. I'm above the storm. So that's why I make these videos and try to teach people. We can get through. You're going to have a lot of tears. It's going to take a lot of hard work. But when you want it and you're driven, you can excel and you can get to that next level and you can beat all the odds that people told you couldn't. I couldn't walk, talk, or swallow. And they was like, you're probably not going to be able to do that again. And I gave them all kind of fingers. And I was like,
the hand that worked.
It was frozen that way. Look, she gave it so much. Show them you gave me the finger on my show. Where's the finger? Right. She gave me the finger on the show, on her episode. So I commend, man, you are strong. That's why I like having you around.
I would just hate to be one of the sons that gets in trouble and stuff. You know, you gonna tell me you
that one arm.
You got 2 good arms. Boy, you be like, man.
I'm glad you said that, because real talk, I don't accept nothing from them. Don't tell me what you can't do.
Ooh,
I don't want to hear it.
I know that's right.
I don't want to hear it. Don't even.
No way, baby. Don't tell me you can't.
Don't come to me.
You see his partners and them, kids can be cruel. The kids will be walking together and they say, oh, man, I know you getting in trouble, man. I don't get in no trouble like that. My parents got both their arms and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how you feel what I'm saying. Your mother got one. She gonna be short. You know what I'm saying? But you're telling the kids, you can do it. If I can do this.
Yes.
If they listen to this, because not too many people, I just want people to understand this. Look, when Miss Brown said you was a stroke survivor.
Right.
It's not like we're teasing or joking. I don't get to laugh and joke with a stroke survivor.
Right.
Most people I've seen have a stroke. It's like to step away from them, head on out of here.
Right. They sad. They depressed.
And
the world. I got jokes, baby. We gonna have jokes about this stroke. Don't be. Make sure you.
I can see it in your face. I felt comfortable to laugh. I couldn't just laugh at somebody like.
I couldn't just walk up to nobody and laugh like that.
You can laugh at that. I'm not laughing.
Right.
I'm being joyful with you. I think we all are. We are being joyful with you because, like he said, we don't get to do this. Like most people go inside. When something bad happens, they draw inside. So they don't keep letting the world in. And I just marvel at every time I see you on the screen, how you continue to let the world be affected by you. You didn't take it away from us.
And Ms. Brown, you know what? And when you was talking, a word just popped up. I always level myself with the way of the word. I'm not religious, Miss Joy or Miss Brown. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, though.
Spiritual.
And the first thing I heard in the word was, do all things without grumbling and complaining.
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to grumble and complain, even though what the stuff I've been through, everything is working. And I should not be grumbling and complaining. That's what the word of God say. Do all things while grumbling and complaining. I'm looking at you and you laughing and joking. You make me pick up.
Right.
You ain't like this because of our show. You're not like this because of your show.
Right.
Here, you're like this. I can see it on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
I remember they would call it big. Can I cuss here? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Can I? No? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So I remember they call it.
And then we charge you $1 at
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
No,
but
be
it's,
yourself,
I'm willing to pay for this one.
No,
it's called
yourself.
Big Dick Energy. From the day that I met her, just like now that you guys got to meet her, she always carries that big dick energy. It is always there. Like it's like pow.
This nigga
Oh,
here.
now look
Get
at
her.
it.
Somebody gotta get her, cuz. Get her. Get her.
Yeah,
Get her, man. Get her. Get her.
Yes, yes.
I noticed Miss Brown is borderline of what they call sexism.
Mhm.
I learned this from the ladies.
Yeah.
So I call myself curbing my
Right.
enthusiasm. But next thing I know,
Well, I don't call it big dick energy.
When she said big dick energy, at first I didn't hear the dick part.
I did. I was like,
Look, I heard it.
my mind registered like this.
I didn't make it up. I didn't call it that.
The Joy got up and puts up a thing
Right.
like, yeah.
like what the? I'm like, is this the Roy Anthony show?
Yeah,
Or is
that's
this
why I like this.
what the hell is going on?
But you know what though? I love it. I love
Hey, me
that.
too. Me too. Listen,
that caught me off guard. No
Yeah.
people piss me in
Hey,
big Hank.
listen, man.
I told you to watch out now.
Hey,
I tried to
look,
warn
Miss
you.
Joy. I'm like this.
I was, but she came when she said, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, no,
But
I
look,
feel like what. Go ahead, Big Hank.
listen, I wanted to say to Joy, listen, through my life, I kind of go by this motto. It ain't what you say and how you say it, it's how you say what you're saying. So when you came on and said, I'm a stroke survivor, you didn't say it like, I'm a stroke survivor. And
Yeah.
you said, I'm a stroke survivor. And I use one hand and one arm. And I was like, damn, what kind of energy? Where the fuck is it? Is it for real? And so that's how you took the energy up off the top. Yeah. We was already like, wow. Because when she said you was coming on, we was all kind of, okay, well, maybe it's going to be a nice show. Kind of down. You came and said, look, I'm a stroke survivor. I only got one arm, two more arms, one arm. Y'all niggas do with two arms. I was like, shit, what the fuck?
Hank, wait a minute. Let me tell you, Hank.
Shout out to you, Joy. Shout out to you. You are Joy. You are Joy.
Yes, she's a rainbow. But let me just get you together, Hank. Miss Brenda Brown, aka the Chocolate Child, does not do boring, or we don't do low energy, right? Because if you listen, it's early in the morning for some people. Okay, and if you don't look like you interested in your life, I'm like, okay, talk to me in the green room. But I never had to worry. I call myself comedy spoiled. Roy Anthony, yourself, Joy. I'm comedy spoiled. So the day that I met her, anyone that I bring on this show, to your listeners tuning in today, tomorrow, and beyond, anybody I say.
Well, Ms. Brown, you did kind of set that up though, because you did say when you was introducing her last week, you did do her like this.
Yeah, Chef, she's a stroke survivor,
like
and she's a
stroke survivor. So we, being pathetic, I was like, let her have her on the show. Yeah, but we still was like, okay. So Big Hank has a point. Because with us now, you and her are familiar, me and Big Hank. Right. Okay. So I kept saying, I'm gonna be honest. Before the show, I kept saying, I wonder how many laughs we're gonna get on this show. Yeah. So I said, let me get my things out right now, the intro, before I can bring anybody in, because it may get a little deep. I got a tissue just in case. I thought it was gonna come like that. Now when Joy came in, hey.
Yeah.
She flipped me off on my show.
Y'all better be ready for Joy.
I am ready for you now, because when you came, she was all like,
Yeah.
Miss Brown,
we
ready now.
Let me just ask y'all.
Just tell y'all something. I'm a stroke twerker. Okay, I stroke twerk. Hey.
Wait, say that again. Say that again. What is this? She tried to get one by me. She tried to get one by me. What you say again?
I say I'm a stroke twerker. A stroke twerker. That means my right side be pumping.
Be twerking. Got you. All right. I got you. You be twerking on the good side.
Yeah, man. she came in.
And I have no shame. I promise you.
I love it.
Because
I
I want
love
people to
it.
know that even though we're live, they record this, so you can go back and watch it. Miss
Right.
Brown was talking about big energy.
Yeah.
And Joy got up and put her thing up. First, I was like,
Yeah.
you were standing up, and you called yourself and gave us an image.
Yeah.
Big energy.
Well, see, what had happened was, right, Juicy Joy had showed herself a split second right there because
that was.
That's what
nasty
Juicy
and
Joy.
real freaky, and she
And I
just
can't wait to kick it with Juicy.
Juicy be tripping. I like Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy be tripping.
now, because I'm gonna wait for Miss Brown to come back in because I want to ask about this theory about this. It's the first time I ever heard of that.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that one either.
I'm starting to think is that when women see somebody with y'all saying he's like, "Ooh, yeah, I got."
Oh
energy.
no, it's the energy. It's the you know. Let me just tell you, it's right. It's the cockiness. It's the I know what I'm about to do and say is going to be funny. She has no question.
You call it BDE.
Listen,
and both y'all have had this conversation.
Okay,
both had this conversation before because while you narrated, she illustrated it.
No, actually, we have never.
Here.
I just knew what to do. We never had that convo.
We just because I know my people, like I know y'all. Like Hank, I knew we would be good friends. Roy Anthony, we talked on the phone, and from day one, I was like, okay, I don't even know what we doing together, but I know it's GD Fenderson. Shout out to you. Another great
cockiness.
Yeah, cockiness. You guys have to have him on the show. He would fit right in. So all I'm saying is just like you all, when I met her just a couple of weeks ago, through a friend, shout out to Henny B. She calls her Honey Bee, so I got to remember comedian Henny B. And listen, when I seen her, I was like, oh yeah, you got to meet Roy Anthony and Hank Norman. You got to meet and Christina, wherever she went. I don't know her last name, like right off the hand.
Carter, she was driving, and so she'll pop back in and so because she's down in Mississippi. See, we come from around the whole U.S. And we have so many different ones who's paying attention. When you said early, you said 10 o'clock in the West Coast ain't early. What's early is that we have some people that jumped in from Australia, and it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning. So, and they love our show. We took out for a month. So we, and you talking about cockiness. Me and Big Hank, he's like a security blanket when we do this. No matter how big we get in our comedy, we love coming together with our podcast. This is Ricky and Big Hank's 5th season, but we get 4th season with the WO. And when Big Hank, I want to share this with y'all. Big Hank holds the records for USC's football receiver and touchdown.
At one time, I was USC's all-time leading receiver. At one time, yes.
Now, and with his fame and stuff, also him and Ricky Harris was the best of friends, childhood friends. He was there when Ricky passed. And so we've had some highs. The thing with me and Big Hank is that we always said we want to have a conversation with people. We think a lot of celebrities get away, and we only think you can learn from celebrities or whatever, whoever you want to pay attention to is through the media, which we don't agree with the media. When Ms. Brown told us about you, Miss Joy, I said, hey, give her the link. We want to have her in. Just like my man GD Fenderson. Give him the link, bring him in. We can have up to 10 because it's the conversation. And you know what? I want to tell you, Miss Brown, beg your pardon for last week when I said heavy metal dad. You asked me the name. I seen the replay. Yes, it's the same guy. Mike
McFarlane.
Yeah. Mr. McFarlane. I just call him Heavy Metal Dad so much. It's like me calling my mother so much. I forget her first name is Rose. You feel?
Oh my God. Yes. I had the benefit of having him on my show one time. He always invites me to California. Now you guys are inviting me to California. I might just end up in California.
Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I was gonna try to get him on this show since y'all, because when I saw the replay and you brought his name up, I wanted to tell you, beg my pardon. I wanted to do a correction with
Oh, thank you.
let you know, and we was talking about the same guy. So I hit Heavy Metal Dad up to see if he come on the show, but he's traveling in Illinois right now. And when you remember he was on the show here last summer, Big Hank. Y'all can go back and watch our episodes. You can see that he's at. Matter of fact, I made it a favorite. Now we spent 34 minutes of kicking in. You made my whole day. Both of
Yes,
y'all,
you did.
both y'all queens. Be glad when Christina come in. We was on a subject,
Okay.
and I pondered on the words. Now, I want to let you know, Miss Brown, that one of the producers correct you about one of the military weapons that you have called out, but that's because he's a gun enthusiast. But we was talking about he understood though what you were saying, and they wish they were changing some of these laws about the guns. But what I've been pushing about is humanity, period. The guns, which was created in 1600s or something, it's a 700-year reign where guns controlled other races. See, these guns made it where one race became inferior around the whole world with the gun. Now, in the word of God, the 700-year reigns of the demonic situations is coming to an end, and that's where we're at. The 700 years existence of the gun. The gun changed the history of the world. If we were still at hand-to-hand combat, think about it. Would we gone through the oppression and stuff that a lot of our people have been through?
All I can tell you on this, Roy Anthony, is I decided this morning that I was done with it. If America will sit back and allow them to keep not doing anything, I just tell mothers with younger children, go get that life insurance, go buy that dress, go get, I hear Amazon got a sale on shoes so you can identify your children when they're hit with bullets that decimate their bodies so that there's nothing left except for the little shoes on their feet. So just get ready for all of that.
But see, I'm going to say this, Ms. Brown. This is what I'm saying. It's nothing. I don't know why, for one, that people think that things are going to get better. It's not.
They're not. They're not.
I went through the crack episodes. To me, that was the Black Death in the Black neighborhoods. Because when I was a kid in the late 70s, and so I never get, my whole family was going to watch Watermelon Man and the Blaxploitation movies.
Blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, the Watermelon. Remember, the Watermelon Man was a white dude who turned black, and Three the Hard Way, and we go watch Bruce Lee movies for real. And then in the early 80s, we was having so much, and the Black Plague comes in. Now we say them, but I lost so many family members, and the word of God came real. The love of money was the root of all evil. It's not having money.
Yeah.
It was the love of money. Love of money that I make my auntie a hoe. I make my uncle this, and I'm gonna make my family members for real. That was the love of money, and it came through. Why did we have to go through that? Because it's part of the prophecy of us here in this half a horn that's growing out. That's what Revelation say. We done went through pestilence. We done went through plagues. Can't no one tell me that this coronavirus wasn't a plague.
Listen, my mom used to tell me when I was younger.
Well, I'm just saying, let me say this.
Oh, sorry.
Because the thing is, it's not, we find a reason to pit up on. We always disguise away from humanity, period. If it wasn't guns, Cain did not use a gun to kill Abel.
Right.
All through the Bibles, they didn't have guns, but a lot of people was getting killed. Whether you was thrown in a tar pit, fire, lions, any of that, controlling is controlling. Death is death. The thing is that we have to be prepared by the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Every day I'm grateful because it is not problem. Like you said, somebody can prepare their kids with some shoes so in case they get shot, we can identify them. Look.
Oh, because it's coming.
But you know what? I tell everybody, instead of trying to introduce people, they'll come meet my pastor, come meet God. Let's say a prayer right now, because he says I'm closer to you than a mouth. But basic instructions before leaving Earth, which is the Bible, tells us. It didn't tell us it's going to be good for you because you're building up your home in heaven. Here, he knows you're going to go through some stuff.
I'm gonna take this episode the next time it happens, and I'm gonna be like, "Here, play this," because I'm truthfully done with it. Like, you know what? They're not going to do it. No amount of talking about it, because people will continue to vote these people into office. So, talking about it, I'm just trying to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, but
I'm just trying to get myself mentally stable and ready for the next one.
But we have to talk about it because on Halakai, I've been where family members say, don't talk about this. We have done this so much in our families. This ain't the time to talk. You know what happened in Halakai? This was the first time I went to Big Hank's church. I ain't never heard this story. Dr. Williams got so deep about it because about hush hush. Even if we reach 1 or 2 people, you doing well, because when the dude prophet killed his wife and cut her into 12 pieces, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Guess what God said? He wanted the people to talk on these things because they was going to keep it a hush hush. He said, no, ponder these things, talk upon these things, and think upon these things. Because 4 of us is in 4 different areas right now that where our mindset, and it's not just this episode. I want to bring this back up because I was correcting myself and was offering you your right and everything. On topics that's talked about on the Roy Anthony show, is topics that Roy Anthony wants to talk about. And sometimes I think we're responsible people. Now, I'm not no dig at you. I'm saying it's responsible parents like yourself who has a 23-year-old son. Miss Joy Towner has 2 sons. I have 3. I have 2 girls and an 18-year-old son. And my 14-year-old is the kingpin of them all. Big Hank has children.
Yes.
I would never want none.
And I am petrified for them all.
I would never want to,
including mine.
Big Hank went through with losing one of his daughters.
See, that's what I don't want to be a part of. Like, everybody has a story. There's so many stories, you start to lose count of how many stories there are. I don't want to know another person that has another story.
Yeah, but
there's a time
if it happens to yourself. What if God forbids?
Again, I don't want to know if I can do something about it. Okay, but at this point in time, it's almost like COVID and getting people to wear their masks. If they don't want to, they don't want to. What am I going to just stand there and keep stomping my feet about?
All you can do is what you can do, honey. You can't even.
There you go. I'm at that point, Joy. That's the point I'm at. All I can do is try to work with mine and keep mine safe. Because no one said anything about hushing it. The world is continuing to talk about it, and that is where we will stand until somebody.
Well, we talk to the world on here. We have people all over. So
no, let me finish. Let me finish. Until somebody with enough BDE, if you will, and enough backbone will stand up and do something. And at that point in time, I am keyed back in. But at this moment in time, I'm just, all I can do is what I can do.
When we talk on it, we're doing something.
Yeah, when we speak on
it,
we're not sweeping it under the rug acting like it don't happen. Yeah,
I can be just comedian Roy Anthony, and just go talk upon with my shows and all that. I use it to where I can talk. I want to. Are you ready to come back in, Miss Christina Carr? You and all of us is good, intelligent people. We can talk about a whole bunch of things.
Oh,
My
absolutely.
yeah, my point is, I like to bring attention to it to let people know how we think. I don't want no media to come to you, Miss Brown, and say, "Well, you know, Roy Anthony thought like this." You hearing it from my
From the
mind.
horse's mouth.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
that's
I'm feeling,
And that is the importance of shows like this.
yeah.
But what I have learned along the way is that at a certain point, I don't know for everybody else, but for me, my, what do you call it? My survivor thing has to kick in. You know, it's like the save yourself kind of thing, because I'm an empath. So every story affects me. Right, like every story, everything that comes into my eye gates and my ear gates. Shout out to JF Clay. Affects the person that I am, and I can't be the best Brenda that I can be dealing with things. So when you ask me my opinion on it, I just told you I didn't have one, because you know, the rest of the world needs to talk about it. I spend my time talking about things that I can make resolution with, you know. So I just was like, oh, I don't know.
Big Hank, you about to say something. What you say, bro?
I was just gonna piggyback off what you were saying about the Bible. The world looking at the world now like it's falling apart, but it's actually falling into place.
There.
You know what I mean? That's what it's really doing. They think everything is going crazy, but this is how it's gonna go. It's finna be the end. So it's falling into place. So and you're gonna, Miss Brown, we're gonna hear a lot more. We're gonna hear a lot more worse things than this. So you know, it's just we at the end times, man. It's the end. We as a matter of fact, I was telling my mama, I said, Mama, you actually get to see the beginning of the end. You watching it right now. You see all the plagues that's going down. Now they got the monkey pox, and there's something else coming out now. So
oh, hold on, wait a minute. They not only have the monkey pox, but now they're letting people come into America with no COVID test, no kind of test. They don't even care. They ain't even asking you. You could just get on the plane and come on in.
Considering that time in the heavens and time here has no same relevance.
Nothing.
You never know when it is coming. So it's important that you just do the right things every day, because you actually never know when it's coming. Because I was born in 82, and my grandma been telling me it's been the last days my whole life. And here I am, 39, and looking like it's truly in the last days, but you never really know. So it's just important that you live your life the way you're supposed to, not because it's going to be the last days or you think it's the last days or any of that, just because it's the right thing to do, period.
And you're right. But see, the carnal mind it seems like it's been long.
Right.
There was a joke when I was a kid. They used to say, you come to God like this. Lord, he said that $1 million to God is like one penny. And 1,000 years to God was like one day. And so the joke guy said, Lord, can I have a penny? And the Lord said, yep, in one day. You see what I'm saying? See, carnal minds, because with God in them, there is no time. Now, what I'm seeing is the basis of all these like we've had 600 traffic stops, murders without guns, unarmed civilians died, 600 from the gun. How many people we've seen death? It's not just in our country. We got other countries where cats is raiding. I was just reading over there in Africa how that. I think God, when the lost souls is tired, what it says, crying at the altar, how long, oh Lord, before you come to revenge me? That's how I look at it. Because we got so many that we've been on these police, Joy, Miss Joy, from last couple of Saturdays, a couple of weeks ago, who did not want to rush into the school and deal with the shooter. They waited 78 minutes, as everybody knows. Well, I was touching on something, and I didn't follow through with it. because I knew it was going to be a little more deeper than I was comparing to what happened over in New York.
Okay.
10 blacks was killed. Down here, a few days later, 19 Latino babies are killed, along with 2 Latino teachers. None of the other teachers out of the race was killed. Now, there's a theory going around called the replacement theory. I spoke up on this a little bit. The replacement theory that I be getting research from some of my white neighbors, okay, send me some stuff. There's a replacement theory where the radical Republicans and nationalists are stating that blacks and Latinos are trying to replace you, period. Now, because they're saying that throughout their history, they haven't been relevant, because like this month is considered Black Music Month, where we've been influenced with all the rock and everything. It doesn't bother me. I can listen to the average white band play Pick Up the Pieces and Schoolboy
Crush.
I'm a bumper. I never look at it like that.
Right.
But some people's self-esteem, like you said, if they would have had a stroke, more likely some of these people would have died. I take it to, Big Hank can correct me, our society is like this. There was, in the children of Israel, when they escaped from bondage, they was out in the desert, and a plague came upon them. God instructed Moses to hold up a symbol which looked like a cross with a snake on it. To this day, it is the symbol for Blue Cross Blue Shield. He told the children of Israel while Moses, I was about to say Big Hank, he got the spirit like Moses to stand it up on the top hill and for everybody to look up. If you look up, you would be healed. Well, guess what, Miss Joy? 1/3 of them died. All they had to do was look up at this symbol that Moses was holding with the snake. God instructed him to do that. Moses didn't come up with this ingredient. Lord, I was just going to make some tea and it ain't working. He said, I want you to take a snake and hang it up on the cross, show it to the people and tell them to look up. Those who looked up got up. 1/3 still died. See, and GD said, don't forget the Jews. I'm bringing it up. Don't forget the Jews are going to replace whites also. That's what they're saying. Not only why a lot of the Jews are relevant because of the money factors. I'm not into the history of that because they got where they shutting people's careers down if you talk upon it wrongly. But what people don't understand is the word fulfills itself. God, you cannot put them under a rock. Joy, have you ever talked to somebody like this? I know Big Hank, Christina. I'm talking to my cousin. He says, he was telling me this one woman comes up to him. He said, he says, she back in. I'm sorry. I thought I had to bring you in, Miss Brown. I'm sorry. So my cousin say, I said, oh man, God might have brought that, I'm spiritual. I'm like, because all things God is, God brought you a woman and stuff. He said, no, man, I didn't add God into this. I said, well, I don't understand. You can add and take God away, but you can. People are thinking like that. When you believe there is no God, it's not that there's no God, it's just that you ain't trying to get yourself in tune with the God. I don't like when people go and tell somebody else, hey, won't you meet my pastor? I got a deep problem. My people died. I'm going through this. Why don't you go talk to my pastor? No, because your pastor's a human as well. Let's talk to God first and then let the Spirit of God instruct you to go where you need to go. God is jealous. We're contemplating on our own selves. We hear ourselves and think that we know what we're telling because it worked for us. But I'm a team player. If it don't work for the team, then it's not working just because I ain't feeling good.
Right. I know one thing. Let me be the first to tell people, you better be careful what you ask God for. And
say it again, George. Say it again. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
You better be careful what you ask. Listen to me. Be careful what you ask God for. And I'm saying that because I asked God to make me a better person. I asked God to lead me to the steps I needed to go through to find who I'm supposed to be. And right after I asked that is when I had my stroke. So believe it or not, my stroke was a blessing in disguise. I felt like,
you sound like right.
I felt like, why this happened to me? I felt like God had forsaken me and he was just out to get me because my mama died from a stroke. So I just knew he was out to kill me. But then in going through everything and actually opening my eyes to seeing what was really going on inside of me and seeing the changes and the information that I was able to absorb and give out to others, I realized this was a blessing in disguise, but I didn't ask for it like this.
You remind me of the story of Esau before he turned into Israel. Remember, he wrestled with God all night long, and the Lord said, "You got to let me go now. Morning time coming." He said, "Not unless you bless me." And so when he let him go,
Jacob. That was Jacob. That was Jacob.
Jacob, what did he do to him, Hank? He said, "Now I'm gonna bless you, but just for wrestling with me." He touched his hip and made him
take this hip bone injury. Yeah, I'm gonna knock your hip out.
But he
I'm
was
gonna knock your hip out. Knock your hip out of shape. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
He was better. That's what Joy just said.
It's true. And you know what? Through all of my trauma, that's where my jokes come from. I get to talk about how my left side hold my titty up. I get to talk about how I'm trying to get it to be the same size on both sides. I get to talk about all kind of random crazy stuff just because.
Did you say you got a kickstand? Did you say you got a kickstand on your titty? What did you say? How did you? You got a kickstand on her.
And then she showed you, right? But you didn't see her show you. All I'm saying is, on top of watch God what you ask for, watch out. Just watch out all the way around. But also listen. When he tell you something, don't decide that you want to go do something else. That is when it all falls apart. I tell everybody every day because they're like, what keeps you going on Sauce in the City? You've had a lot of episodes. You've done a lot of work. What keeps you going? I say God, because if he wants me to keep going, he'll put it in front of me.
Well, you know
if he don't want me to, he won't provide it. And I'll fall and I'll be like, well, I guess that wasn't it. Yes, Roy Anthony, sorry.
Yeah, but you're right though. But I look at it like what all y'all saying. Joy said that she went through something, and I'm looking at it like, the first thing we had to do is stop thinking that we can't have a vision. Miss Brown, you done came up with a lot of stuff, and God is blessing you because you want to see the best in people. You feel that comedy is therapeutic. So you put your energy, that's a blessing that God has you to do. Now, you make it seem so simple where someone on the outside is looking at it. I tell people this, I can't stand when lazy people use this lie. And I say this to some lazy preachers and all that. That saying which is not word, or you know how to make God laugh, is tell them your plan and all that. That's a lie from the devil. Because let me tell you something. The word of God say people without a vision will perish. You have a vision, Miss Brown. That's why you were stroking and surviving it. Miss Joy had a vision. You said you want to be a bird. So I'm not saying stroking. I'm not saying in the form.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm glad I didn't have to go through that because, see, I just had to go through some other stuff.
Exactly.
So I'm definitely glad that, it wasn't like my own. I'm surprised I'm not in the same kind of physical stance she is. It just was more of a mental type of thing,
only God will put on you what he knows what you can bear.
Well, it was a lot, Roy. It was a lot. There was one point there I was like, really, God? Like, okay, I'm not questioning. I'm just saying it's a little tough right now. It's a little tough there, God. But I just want people to know I want to encourage people to listen when God does speak, or when whoever you are doing your thing to, because I don't judge, right? But listen, you ask them for the wisdom to do the right thing. When they tell you what the right thing is, don't shun it, do it. It might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like it's the wrong thing because you would have never thought of it on your own. But sometimes the follow through is where it is. So on top of be careful what you ask for, in addition, when you get it, use it like Joy did.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, can I
Christina got her mic. I want to hear what's
Oh,
Christina
yes.
pulled in. She got her mic up. Go ahead, Miss Christina.
Hi.
Look,
That's our
I've been
baby
trying to be
sister.
quiet because I'm in hospital. Because I was about to run all up through this hospital a few minutes ago. So I had to step on up out of there. But what I wanted to say was when, people ask God for stuff, and like she said, you may not want it, but it's not that he didn't hear you, it's because he was saving you. You wasn't ready to receive what you're asking for. And with that being said, like this morning, I was going through some things this morning where I was like, God, I'm doing everything you tell me to do. I'm doing it this way and that way. I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. But just like the God work, the devil work too. So he'll put like the God working people, like the drunk and the people on the street. The devil do the same thing.
Hey,
Every day that
yep,
you get up, put your feet on the ground, you probably making the devil mad because they know you coming full force that you ain't playing.
yeah.
So every day you step off on the ground, the devil is ready, like, damn, what I'm gonna do this time? How I'm gonna get her this way? And it'll come through your own household. Okay?
Say
And then if
Chris,
other people
yeah.
seeing what you're doing and they got a like mind, but like I said, God is unveiling everybody, showing
You,
you for who you are, showing
uh-huh.
self. Some
yeah.
people want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you doing better than them. So they're
Mm,
gonna try to drive you another way, you know,
absolutely.
Chuckle. But because you're sitting there and you're saying, well, I'm here. They see the light in you. You ain't got to have no titles. You don't have to have none of that. Those the ones that's talking about you going to hell this and you going to hell that. They're the ones that's gonna be outside the gate trying to get in.
But
So
Christina,
he
you
had to
said
show me in a
something.
different light. I asked God to show me,
Yeah.
and when
I
He
wanna
started
I
showing
wanna
me,
add something you
hmm,
said, Christina. You said something. You said, I'm trying to do everything what God wants me to do. Now, and I totally agree. But I'm gonna tell
hmm,
you what my grandmother said. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's how we do. Back in the days, I was shacking up with this girl, me and her, and I believe in prayer. And every time I would pray for something and everything, it would, I mean, simple stuff. I couldn't get a job, little simple things I couldn't accomplish. And I go to my grandmother, and I'm like, why I'm going through all of this? Every time I look up, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and going through this. And the first thing she said was, don't let your good be spoken evil of.
Mm,
I said, and when she said that, I'm like, wait, am I really doing everything God wants me to do? Because I'm playing house with this woman, and as soon as I got away from the woman, they're like, hey, I can't do this. I can't play house no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bad enough that I'm out here just flipping it up like that, like Tupac song with Casey and JoJo. Love to see you toss it up. Right. But I couldn't expect God to bless in mess. See, sometimes we want a blessing from God, and it's like trying to get a brand new couch. I had a partner who's got a brand new couch in the house. Their house is filthy. So I came to the house, and he said, you see, we got a brand new couch. I couldn't tell because your house is filthy. I didn't tell him that. I was like, oh, yeah, I played that. But if you got to clean up your house
right.
to be able to receive new furniture. My
Yeah.
mother was getting, I remember a kid, my mother get a brand new chair. We
nobody
had
can
to do
say
spring
something
cleaning on
illegal.
that whole house for the new chair to come in. I'm like, what the kitchen got to do with the living room chair? I'm just saying is, and that's what takes sometimes as us as individuals. Sometimes I had to leave certain people alone because my human side like kicking it with them, but the spiritual side is tearing me down because bad company will corrupt good manners.
Ooh, I've had preach it. Look, I almost threw my little white flag up. I'm like, yes. I had to figure that out this year. So
this
I'm
just mess with a lot of ladies. The word of God say, you know why we got more female ministers? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's because a lot of men didn't want to step up. And the Lord said, someone's gonna preach my word, or I have the rocks cry out. Because in the word of God say, when the men are speaking, 2 Timothy, you can look it up. I ain't talking about Old Testament. They was trying to get some organization. And Paul said, we prefer that when the men are speaking, the women to be silent. But if the men aren't being spoken, which men aren't, we fall into the side. And I lie you not. A lot of men want to just go in there and play tamarines with women and don't try to be man up with these cats on the streets. I'm just saying there's some, not everybody. You know, I got a witness, so I have big hank. That's why I talk like I do, because he's an example. If I see him working with the church and working the whole neighborhood and society, some of these cats got purple socks and want to play a tambourine. Wait, big old fat dude coming to church. I make a visit. I'm trying to hear the real word of God. When I move to come to the church, I know that there's word for me. I come to the church one day. I didn't feel it, but I'm gonna go because I had missed Dr. Williams and Big Hank, so I'm gonna go to the service. So a big old fat dude up there, and I already knew this sermon ain't for me. When he from Mississippi, coming up there talking about, yeah, they trying to legalize marijuana, you see, and all this stuff, but he fattened them up. You ain't talking about gluttony. You ain't talking about none of that. And
he didn't say but nothing about putting that chicken. He didn't say nothing about putting that chicken down. He didn't say none of that.
And I told Big Hank, I left and passed it the next day because I left because I already see where this is heading. So I leave. And so Big Hank said, Pastor asked him, he said, Roy left. He said, yeah, because Roy knows it's about to be an act. And sure enough, that man was all that stuff. Ain't nobody hearing that. I ain't hearing nothing. People think I was wrong because the dude started for me and holding my forehead, and he's doing this. So I knocked his hand off me. I don't know what he's saying.
Right.
You just met me. You could be saying, Lord, I hope that this man ruins everything he touched. I hope that his life ain't whatever. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, let's be real. We too busy trying to put a front up.
People go to church pumping and praying. That ain't right.
What you say, Christina?
Did you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I'm just saying the church people take it out of context. I just think they take the church out of context now. It's just a modern day, I want to say, casino to me. Because everything is monetary.
But that's why it's individual.
You're supposed to go in the church. We believe in God.
Yeah, that's why it's individually.
You don't do that. And my thing is, the church is in you.
Yeah, but look, all five of us is in church right now. All five of us is in church right now. The word of God say, where 2 or 3 is gathered together, touching and agreeing, I'm the God amongst them. Everybody on this panel,
we can have a service.
Preach it.
Miracles. We're looking at miracles. We're looking at perseverers, people who endured. We're looking at sympathetic moms who once, she's like, my son, Miss Brown, I applaud you. She said, I see how some of these knuckleheads is doing in this world. My son ain't gonna do that. That's the start. You start from home. I feel you. We all start from home. Look here. The point of this, if I can only reach one, because Lil Wayne and them could reach 1 million of them, but I don't see nothing that he's directing to take them to heaven. I'm not saying knocking them. I'm not knocking them. But the Lord told me if I can just reach one, the angels in heaven are supplying
Rejoicing. Yes, they rejoicing.
Fanfare. This ain't about. This is called the Roy Antony Show. I could change the name of this show like this right at the end of this show. We can call it the Open Forum.
Right.
It doesn't. I don't want no one praise me. I'm on the conversation. I think we measure it up. I want Miss Brown, Miss Joy, Christina. Hey, talk what you want. It ain't about me. I do stand-up comedy. Oh man, I got some big heavy hitters that's hit me up. Someone can't tell me what God won't do.
That's right.
If you can't convince yourself, you can't convince nobody else.
Look here. I even had to convince myself though, Christina. That's why I wanted to commit suicide.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't convinced of my own self. Do you understand?
Y'all can make me cry.
Look here. I had to fight.
When I'm in a quiet place, y'all.
Yeah, I had to fight with the demons telling me it's better on the other side. You can't be an artist thinking that you're about to go somewhere. All of a sudden, the rug comes up under your feet. How can you be comedian Roy Antony and you can't even have $20? I'm staying in motels. I'm going through something deep. So who do I call? I couldn't call nobody. I called somebody. Hey, can you help me get some food? You Roy Antony. So to the public, I had to put it on. But to the side, I'm falling apart. Mm-hmm. And every day I'm walking by this bridge. And it got to the point I finally stood there and looked at the bridge. I think I was getting hypnotized into going to see what's the second life, afterlife. Mm. And a lady was walking by. She said, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I had to catch up."
I was tripping. I was just tripping. I was tripping. I was just tripping.
Lost my damn mind for a second.
Just blanked out.
God told me I'm closer to you, Roy, than your mouth. So I said, he said, "Speak it out, Roy. You can do it." That's what he's telling me, Roy. You can do it. Roy, you can do you. Roy, you the number one headliner. Roy, you can do it. Roy, you the number one headliner. I'm saying it so much that when I start performing, people tell me, I'm saying, "Yeah, Roy." They see me on the side. They thinking that, man, he's so conceited. He's hyping himself up. That's not what it is. It helped me go through something. So I'm a person that I become repetitive. So if it works, I'm gonna keep on doing the same thing.
Right.
God, I thank you. Roy, you gonna do this. Roy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sharing.
You're doing what you're supposed to do. That's each one reach one, teach one. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's why we do comedy, because comedy is therapeutic. I'm no better than my comedy than Big Hank or whatever. I let it off on the stage, and for me and Big Hank, Big Hank done a lot of shows. I've done a lot of shows. They don't always record them because when you at some places, they don't want you to use your cell phone. So it's done data. I knew that something was going to happen when me and Big Hank go to Memphis, Tennessee. We don't know nobody.
Yeah. We
know that Christina's up there from Mississippi. She comes up. We got something everybody's blowing it up about. To tell me what God can't do.
Yeah.
See, we so busy that say for instance, we become millionaires. Let's say I'm Cat Williams. Now, I've been knowing Cat when he was Cat in the Hat. He wasn't Cat Williams. He was Cat in the Hat. I used to work with him. What happened is I got picked up to go on a featured act for Dolomite. He got picked up on a movie Friday After Next, but he was a step level than me. It wasn't like we was equals. Right. I was green. He was the pro. Him, Corey Yoakum, whole bunch of cats. I know them all, Spanky and all that. I didn't want to do Wild and Out because God didn't put it in my heart. Mm-hmm. I know Joe Blunt, all them cats. Me and Eddie Murphy bumped heads. I respect him so much, but I'm not going to praise you. I only can praise God. And he gives me the confidence that I do. He wasn't there. None of them was walking across that bridge. None of them paid my Edison bill. I even said, Lord, if I'm for me to be a comedian, Lord, help me. Family thinking, oh, you chasing a dream. You need the bird. They ain't gonna pay for real. Now they telling me, when's your next show? Mm-hmm. I want people to understand when you see the Roy Antony
people don't know. People
stand up. I'm sorry.
Stuff. They don't know what People don't know your story. All they know is what they see. They don't know the struggle, the days you've been crying. They don't know none of that stuff. How they got there.
Your phone went out, Christina.
Seems like it's that much quicker.
Your volume is going off and
Can you
on
hear me?
a little bit. You're in that hospital, so they got some of them
Can
doors
you
that
hear
keep
me?
that. Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's better.
Yes.
Yeah. What I was saying was people don't understand that the devil make things seem so much clearer. You looking at other people riding cars and ain't got no jobs and stuff like that, and here you are doing it the right way, and you're not getting anything. But the same way God can take you through a process. Before you get that shiny metal, you have to go through a process. You have to, just like cleaning clothes, you have to go through the washing cycle. Maybe you're at your washing cycle and everybody else on their rinsing cycle. You never really know what the process is. But
Because
if
the
you
race is
give
not
up,
to the fast and swift or
and
to
that's
those who are
when you
strong.
give up. That's when you give up. That's when your breakthrough coming. If you going
Yeah.
through all kinds of hell, you know you're just right there, foot 2 footsteps ahead. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You just have to make your vision, make it plain, and don't give everybody your blueprint.
And you know that
That part.
Mississippi
You
came out.
know,
Your Mississippi came out. You sound like Sojourner
I
Reeves.
look on the
You
same,
don't let
on the
nobody.
same on,
I
You
love
got
the
on the
ending
same.
stand
part.
on it like a mug, Christina. You like you don't let nobody. I'm like,
And don't
Right,
give
but
everybody your blueprint. I
But
like
that
that.
is facts. And I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, especially doing my motivational speeches, I'm always just like, anything worth having will be hard. It's not supposed to come to you easy. If it's
if
easy,
it's
chances
easy,
are
you
you
gotta
don't want
quit.
it.
You don't
You
want
know,
it because it's too easy.
I look
You know,
around
that's
and
so
I see
intelligent.
you guys on screen. I look around and I see what's happening. And I remember back to when I first started to ask people to do this. Back in 2017 is when I realized that it could be done. Right.
Until you
And
came on the
I
Roy
really,
Anthony show and find that it's getting done, sugar.
it is. It's getting done. But the thing is, I remember when I would ask
Yeah.
people and they would cuss me out. They would cuss me out. They would tell me that this would never work, that it was only a fad, a phase, it was going to come and go. And now I see the Roy Anthony show and I realize that
I'm
it
just
lives
talking.
on in everybody's viewpoint.
But see,
So
we are all smart. See, this ain't something I planned. This divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that Joy was gonna peek in last Monday and say
me,
then you invite her? Who knew
I
you were
knew,
coming?
I
Well,
knew.
what I'm saying is you two, because you
Oh,
just met Big Hank, Christina last week. You and I met
yes.
properly, and this is what I feel is right. This seemed right to me.
It feel good.
It
Yeah,
feels
it
good. I hope
feels
that we all come back. And guess what? Don't let this be
it
I
is
change the name. It don't have to be the Roy Anthony
like-minded
show.
people.
I'm starting to feel vain sometimes anyway because I look at Big Hank and Christina as equal stars with me. And then with y'all, it don't have to be the Roy Anthony show. I can make it to where it's the real talk. And Roy Anthony just be the one for real.
You know
It's
what, Roy
whatever, baby. The
Anthony?
name ain't changing the message. So it is
That's
what it
it.
is.
You know what? When you said that, I
It's
think
the purpose
about Wendy
from
Williams. I think about
like this.
Wendy Williams and her show. I used to think it was like really vain for her to have a show called Wendy Williams. And now that I see that other people are hosting the show and it's still a community show, it still has her name, but it still is a
I
community
try to
show.
keep it
That's what it
going with
feels
my
like
producer.
here.
Yeah, my producers and them, they be like, "Oh, Roy Anthony," okay. But I just want everybody to know that we're all equal. That's just a title.
Yeah.
I've been listening.
Cause y'all young ladies would have saw me early when I first started this show. You could hear a pin drop. I wouldn't say nothing. Just
Yeah,
but
I was
see,
gonna say
God
a
knows
mouthpiece on cotton.
I'm comfortable.
I was gonna say.
Oh look! Well, I'm glad you came out of your little shell, Christina. Because yeah, my first episode, I was like, does she talk? Like I see her pretty face, but do she say something? And then Hank, you
Yeah.
too. You had kind of like like I was like, uh-oh. And then you start smiling and talking to me. I was like, uh-oh, I
Well,
done
Hank is
found a
my
home.
confidential. See, Hank is like, I look over at Hank, and if he's agreeing, he's not. if it's something I don't think that he's aware, I think I change it up or something, you know, because we have a yawn on you too. He's like,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hurry this up, wrap it
hey,
up.
look, your big hanger yawn on you. Like, come on now. Hey, you know, I work for the Lord, but y'all boring on right here. Let's change it up. But he is my confidant. It's
Let's
like
get it correct.
and
He
I'm gonna
brought
tell
out the
y'all,
best in me. I
Miss
say that.
Brown.
Know, y'all to me, I don't have brothers or nothing. So having been on the show with men who love to honor women, let them know that they're powerful, just as powerful as men, it does a lot. And then to be a young mother of 6 kids and 4 boys, I'm like, what the world? How I'm gonna do this? You know, but it gets done.
Are
You
we
know, it
just like
takes a
this
village to
on
raise.
the? Are we just like this on the panel, Christina, or is it like this in real life, or do we change up?
Look, he didn't. They don't change up on me. They haven't yet. I hope they don't. I'm gonna have to make it.
See, we came down. I went down
But
to
yeah,
Mississippi. Look, I was in Memphis, and I said I'm gonna go down to Christina's. I'm gonna drive down there, which is the hardest drive I ever did. It's only an hour, 2 hours, but the road does not dip or nothing. It's just one straight road. There's no curves, there's no hills, there's no challenges with your steering wheel. So I'm just rolling. Next thing you know, and I said I wasn't going to drink anything because this is the first time I've ever been there. But I kept seeing myself going over to the shoulder and everything. So I tell Christina, I said, man, that highway hypnotized. She said, yeah, there's been a lot of crashes there. I said, okay, I got this figured out. I'm used to being paranoid. So I stopped at the gas station on the way back and got me a can of beer. That way I can look around and where the police at. And I came in.
yeah.
I drove out of Mississippi with a can of beer, bro. You know, but I'm honored for all y'all.
Technology, though. You can meet everybody all across the world just by a click of a button. And that saves a lot of people's life. It takes me, it gets me through the day. You know, you never know that people all over the world are going through worse things and been through worse situations. So you're not here for you anyway. We are in this world for somebody else. And with all this stuff people is worshiping and stuff, when we get in that pine box, none of that stuff going back. We came in this world by ourselves, we're gonna leave it by ourselves. It's the name that you left behind. What can these people say about you when you're dead and gone? You know, so
you know
that's
what?
what
Just remember that when you on each episode of this show that you're on, just remember that, because this is your digital dynasty. Remember home movies? Remember back in the day when they had the home movies and you would play them on the projector walls or at least see it on TV. Anyway, this is our version of home movies. This is what, when we are too old to remember on our own, we'll get to watch these back. And I'll remember Hank and Roy and Joy and Christina. And I'll remember this day right here and I'll laugh. And I'll be like, oh, those are my friends. I think Joy gonna be like, girl, I got to check my schedule to be on the show. And I would be like, okay.
Look here. I like to be this a regular panel. If other people want to come in and stuff, because people like to hear. And I was looking at, you know, it seemed like it's all blacks, but we're not all blacks. We're all Americans, because we got white neighbors. They can come in. We've always, for real, we don't discriminate. I'm not into that discrimination. We've had guys come on here and say some racial stuff. Me and Big Hank combat it with love. I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't care how much power that I have. I would never want somebody to get off the sidewalk because I'm walking down the sidewalk. Well, how dare you get that mean? Or stuff like that. We got to treat, now, even though we don't get treated the way we want to treat people, the word of God didn't tell us to adapt ourselves on the way people treat us. He gives us a command to love your neighbors as you love yourself.
That's it right there. That's it.
I'm like,
that's it right there, man.
Stop you from being who you are. You stay true to you.
Like Miss Brown says, she said some of the people she made to take them to the green room. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to knock the dust off your feet. Yeah. Sometimes we sympathetic, but we got a family member or this person. Sometimes you got to cut that loose. Yeah. Look here, when I took my mother and them to the altar, in my mind, I had to get it.
You never change yourself. You change the things.
my comedy was being affected by inhibitions because my mother don't like hear a cuss word or talk about certain things. Whereas in my comedy, it was proven for me to. So for 4 or 5 years of my stand-up comedy, I was fighting inhibitions on the stage because I would get off and I'm like, why didn't I say this and I say that? And I can't say this because my mother, you know, listen, I can't. You feel me? And it becomes a war.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we can all open up, because y'all get me to talk, I don't really tell my personal self. You getting me to talk? I'm not about male or female. I'm a male. I'm a heterosexual male. I'm not about if somebody gay, so I'm not into that. I'm thanking God that I got a comedy show that I just released and it's tearing up. I'm grateful, but guess what? I sometimes I find myself watching myself twice a day, but I got to think about the rest of the world. We had a meeting with WO so I can figure out how to make sure that we everybody on my thing gets paid. And I told WO was created to bring awareness to veterans that commit suicide. As much as they do to keep us have the freedom, we have the freedom to do like this. You can't do this in Russia. You're going to jail. Let you speak about the government over in Russia with a podcast like this. All y'all going to jail. We be
Right.
Wait, why he say all y'all going to jail? Like he wasn't over here with the rest of us. Like,
they already had me in jail.
Like, no, we going to jail.
Put out a kite to tell them, hey, they come to get you. You know the first one they gonna take is me. I'm gonna go first.
He say y'all. I'm like,
I done said
no,
things
we.
on this show.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I'm gonna probably be the first one to go. I'm an ex-con. They're gonna look at my record. That nigga, let's get him. He already been.
I said it to many times. I said I'm gonna come out. There's gonna be 2 on my chest and one on my forehead. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is what it is. We don't.
They're gonna let me stay. I got too many kids.
We don't
got no babysitter.
What happened?
She said they gonna let her stay because
they ain't got no babysitter.
Hey, but Roy Anthony, you was right by what you said, man, because Jesus said that they'll know that you are one of my disciples by the way y'all love one another.
Exactly.
So you love the way you love your brother, man. That's how people gonna know that you one of Jesus' disciples. So we put here to do that, to love one another. That's what we put in.
I used to hate myself. When I hated myself, it caused me to be a terror out in them streets. I'm telling you, I was at a 180-degree turn.
I went through it too.
They always associate me with Paul on the road to Damascus. For real, the light had to hit me. I've been to jail and getting out and causing more. Been back to jail the same day. I went to police, all that. I hated myself.
Yeah.
But then when I never get an OG said, Roy, you hate yourself. And I got offended. You see me wearing this? He said, yeah, it's because you dress yourself up. You hate yourself because look what you take yourself through. And that's why you can't get along with nobody else. They used to call me chaos. Nobody wanted me to come to their parties because I was one of the ones when I showed at the party, the fights on. And they used to call me chaos. And I'll cry when I hear the background stories. And then I say, Lord, look what you took me away. So now I can't do nothing but say, because do those tendencies still come up? Yeah, we ain't no punks. You run up on me and Big Hank the wrong way.
Yeah, for real.
I'm going to pray for you, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
For the bruises that you receive. You brought this on yourself. You know.
It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, man. It's going to be a problem.
And it's an army of us. And the ladies like yourselves, Queen. Now, usually we are an hour, Miss Joy.
Yeah. Yes, we over.
Going over a little bit because we had everybody in. We will be in Thursday. You gonna come Thursday?
If you invite me Thursday, baby, I'll be
here.
here.
I'm gonna say this again. Big Hank,
you are invited
first time. Go ahead, tell Christina what she say, Christina.
Joy,
you are invited.
Yes,
you are. Yes, you are, Joy. Yes, you are.
So we don't do that no more.
Right.
You came to the house. We gave you a drink.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm officially family. Just send me the link and I'll be here.
Yes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start seeing Miss Christina can get everyone's link. You see what I'm saying?
Y'all need to be friendly me on Facebook. Don't just wait till I come on here. Literally find me
your social link so we can do that. Because I will do that as soon. Say your social media.
So on my regular Facebook, I'm just Joy Towner. On my motivational page, I am facebook.com/I'm Strive. On my TikTok, it is Strengthen You. On my Instagram is Juicy Joy. You're going to find me. But you can Google me, baby, real talk, because I volunteer in hospitals. I write books. I do so much stuff that I'm all over the place.
You know
I'm in
I'm looking forward
Australia.
to sticking with.
So you Googleable. You Googleable.
I'm Googleable.
Oh, you teasing about that word, Miss Brown. I'm
in Australia and everything. I got a little chapter out in Australia. My book is about to come out here. We're going to talk about some stuff, y'all, because
that's cool, man. That's what's up.
And, I'm redefining what it means to be a stroke survivor.
That's what's up,
we
man.
have strength through recovery over needing emotions.
Okay. Man, you don't love it.
Look, you look here, and look what Redneck Pimp doing like this. Yeah. He be like, boy, he loves our show. And the thing is that I heard somebody ask, can we cuss? It's just that our aura, you can cuss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, Big Hank. Let me tell you something. Can I say this, y'all? What you say, Christina? I'm sorry. What you say?
I said I'm a cuss, so stuff might slip out.
Right.
But we never said you couldn't. It's just that I'm gonna say this. I gotta give this a shout out to Big Hank, y'all. When we first started, me and Big Hank, I even said on my comedy, Big Hank say,
I used to say nigga all the time,
right?
My nigga this.
And then sometimes he'd be in the front of the church and they found out he's a head deacon, but when he be at this house, he's not doing none of that at the church when he's in the house. So sometimes people will say, hey, he's a deacon and he's acting like that. I say, hey, this is everything. This is the truth. I say, look, get to know his story. Think like Dr. Martin Luther King. Get to know him. And now they love it. Look, I got people hit me up. Where's Big Hank? We love Big Hank, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm listening. I'm listening to Big Hank talk. I ain't even hear him say nigga until I just brought it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because he got a different aura. He got a different
energy. Christina.
And so look, but that's God. He been working on me. I got some things I'm still working on too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Still
working on. Still working on.
Look, he's working on me too. I had a problem with listening. I'm gonna confess. Am I lying, Christine? I had a problem with listening. I'll talk and forget it. And don't care about muting your mic. I'm talking. And I started listening. And I really lost my witness. Then the test came last Monday, Big Hank. The test came. Well, Miss Brown, she just as strong as she wants to be. And I went to say something. She said, hold up.
Hold up, boy. Hold up.
I had to look at my name. It's Roy Anthony.
I was shocked.
But I'm just teasing with her. Wait, you said you were shocked, Christina? What you say, Christina? What you just say?
I was I wasn't.
No. You should have seen when she told that nigga to hold up. That nigga did like this.
Look, I was on the other side of the screen, like he better shut the hell up.
Hey, so Miss Brown, I talked to Brown, and she's like, I said, look, I love it. See, it's not just about me, it's what the world wants. Everybody is talking can relate. Miss Brown, people can relate with you. Some women shouted out. They said they can understand.
Yeah.
They can understand, especially when you women are left to raising the men. Because I think that the men, if there's no man around, the women has to do it because there's certain things. I'm gonna tell you like this.
You have to do like Christina did and find you some surrogates.
My daughter's 14. My daughter's 14, and I've been raped. So when she was a baby, 9 months old, you know how they get on the side. I've had to take a leak. I was like this, and I teaching my son. When she was 2, she comes in. She was in the bathroom. I heard her flip the toilet. We're gonna get out there. She say, "Daddy, I pee." She said, "Daddy, I pee." I saw you did. And I went in there. It was pee all over the floor. So I was like, What's going on right here? So the next time she had to go to the bathroom, I looked and she stood, she flipped the toilet seat up and was standing just peeing all over the floor. I said, oh. I said, Mommy, sugar mommy, you got to sit down. She was like, what? I said, you got to sit. She looking at me like, you don't sit. So to get her to learn for about a month, I sat. So she can get
do what you gotta do.
And then, but hey, y'all, look here. We passed the hour 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're gonna pick this up Thursday. I love everybody. I love somebody said hi, Daddy. Hey, I don't know if they talk to me. They just say Facebook user.
Definitely not a dad. I don't know.
We want to say Joy, Miss Brown, regulars. We see y'all this coming Thursday. This Thursday. Today's Tuesday. We got Wednesday and Thursday. Big Hank, love you. Christina, love you too. Christina, talking this Thursday and stuff.
I know who that was, Roy. That her name is Shaquan. Shaquan. It says Facebook user, but I know it's Shaquan.
Well, who was she saying hi, Daddy to?
She was saying that, like, when you walked in and your daughter looked up at you, hi, yeah, Daddy, and while she peeing all over the floor. Yeah.
Hey, now, Miss Brown, when I send you the links, make sure that Miss Joy get it. But we're going to get to where we all know each other. I think she went off. So we're gonna send you the link. Send it to them. Send it to GD Fenderson. I would like to meet him and any of your fans. We get up to 10, so we always like to hear people's opinions. I'm out of here, y'all.
Hey, love y'all.
Love y'all too. Do we get a video?
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Bye, Joy.
Is anybody out there?
It's the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony